Hey guys, and welcome to this live. So this live, it's kind of it's one I've never done before, and I'm really excited about doing it here. We're going to do here a live demonstration of healing the root cause of something that's getting in the way of the beautiful soda here. My name is Emma Lyons. I specialize in helping entrepreneurs and women particularly to remove their money blocks, they're blocks that keep them small. And the reason I do this is because I suffered from all these things. And you know what? I'm still working through my own blocks as well. So I really know how this works from the inside. So tell me what's going on here.
So I'm working on this podcast about being successful as an artist, and I'm noticing myself that being a middle child and everything, I've always like just kind of played small. And so this is really, really going out of my comfort zone. Like this podcast is more, it's not because I'm an expert, it's because I need this advice on how to be successful myself. I'm kind of scared to like be big and have a hard time really understanding money. It's just so strange and abstract to me. And I know that I have these blocks that I'm still kind of working on. So I'm kind of scared to like be big and have a hard time really understanding money. It's just so strange and abstract to me. And I know that I have these blocks that I'm still kind of working on.
Okay, amazing. So if you don't know me, if you're joining in for the first time, my name is Emma Lyons, and what I specialize in is I specialize in helping entrepreneurs and women particularly to remove their money blocks, their blocks that keep them small. And the reason I do this is because I suffered from all these things. And you know what? I'm still working through my own blocks as well. So I really know how this works from the inside and the outer that's been coming up for you recently.
Honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with being an artist and
Mm.
feeling like, my husband's an accountant and he's the money person. He worked hard to get his master's degree and his accounting license and his business management license. And, because I got my degree in arts, I I knew ahead of time that, oh, artists don't make a lot of money and were were kind of looked down on, and I just kind of accepted it because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna, either live on my own forever and have a simple income, or I'll get married and my husband will work and I'll just stay at home, with a child all the time. But I'm realizing that I don't want that. I want to have more to my life. Not that there's anything wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, but it's a really hard job. But I feel like there's more to it, and I'm just keeping myself very small, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, it makes so much sense because, especially for mothers, we have a lot of women, they have the mom guilt as well because you have this split
Yeah.
energy. You have to look after your kids and do your business. And so this is not you. I know it feels when you're in that place, it can feel like you're really alone, but I can tell you that you're definitely not. This is going to resonate for lots of people. And I want to say that for anyone watching, if you're affected by this or if you can connect with what Soda is saying, you can also kind of tune in and benefit from what we're going to be doing here.
That was
So
big.
this
Hmm.
is one that so many women have. Like women can't say no to things. They can't receive. They feel this obligation, and this is something that's really like the perfectionist woman. The woman has to be superwoman, has to do everything, and
And I think that a lot of our Western media in general, like it kind of glamorizes being, and I like the idea of giving to others, but when you can't, what's that phrase? Like you can't pour from an empty cup, like a lot of a lot of times, whether it's what's in the kids' media or a lot of religions, just like you're like, oh, if you just keep saying yes, even though you really don't want to, God will bless you or whatever. So I think that I'm realizing now that that's been a big issue to me and probably the cause to a lot of my autoimmune issues.
Yeah, totally. And I think you're right. That it is glamorized, and women kind of are proud of that. They have to serve everyone before they help themselves. And that can really get in the way when it comes to making money and receiving. Because if you're always trying to look after everyone before you look after yourself, that's obviously going to be a block to you having a successful business. So, we can still be loving and caring and generous people and women and be out there, be helping people, but we can do it from a place of fullness. And the thing also about when you do things like that, when you overgive, um, it comes from a place of wanting to get something back. So we can end up resenting people when we don't get that reciprocation. So it's kind of, we think we're being all altruistic and, oh, I'm such a good person, but really it's quite selfish because we're
Mm,
trying to get something back from that other person. It's conditional rather than unconditional. And then we end up resenting people and resenting ourselves, and that creates loads more problems down the line. So this is a really good one and a really important one to work on. So like that, can you tune in to a time where you felt that, where you were felt like you couldn't say no? Like when was the last time? When was the first time you remember that?
yeah, there was a time when I was about 8, and I
Hmm.
actually had a pretty abusive, my birth mom's pretty abusive, and she asked me a question about, like, did I do something? And I said I blamed it on my brother, even though I did do it. And she, decided not to be abusive to me and was abusive to him instead, which I felt really guilty for. But it was kind of this thing like, oh, if I make them happy, if I tell them what they want, then I won't get
Mm,
hurt, kind of thing.
got it. And
And
how old were you then when that happened?
I think I was 8,
Okay.
second
So
grade.
that's like you're still very young at that stage. Like between the age of 0 and 7, you're wide open. You're basically, but at 8 as well, you're still very receptive to really taking on those things and it taking root in your psyche and
Hmm.
affecting you basically for the rest of your life unless you address the underlying root cause. So, right, can you tune into that 8-year old? Like, can you see her in front of you? You
Yeah,
can close your eyes if you need to. Yeah. And how's she feeling about what just happened, what just went down?
kind of a mix of pride and guilt.
Mm,
Like, I'm
yeah,
so good. I escaped the beating. I was able to redirect, but at the same time there was some guilt involved. So, um,
yeah,
yeah, it's a very crystal clear memory because it it was so impactful because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have the
got
power
it.
to get people
So
to not
that's,
hurt me if
yeah,
I
yeah.
just say what they want to hear.
Yeah, so, if you just go along with other people, then nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
So that's a very powerful belief, right? And then that goes on to adulthood. Like you said you had real difficulty kind of saying no to people. How does that show up for you, or how has that shown up for you in the past?
Yeah, like there've been a lot of situations where I also have a lot of empathy, and if I
Mm,
know that somebody will feel sad if I say no to something, then I feel like it's my responsibility. And my birth mom, again, she another thing that is coming up right now is when I was 15, and she told me that if I um didn't, like, do something for her, like pick up her medicine or whatever, and or if I didn't visit her, that was it. She wanted me to visit her even though I wanted to do something else, and she told me, like, if you don't visit me, then I'm going to be so sad that I'm going to end my life, and it's going to be your fault that I ended my life. And
wow.
that blame, like, I'm responsible for other people, and if I don't, you know do my part, then if something happens to them, it's going to be my fault.
Right.
So
So
I
that's
think that's another big
super,
thing too.
that's super like emotional blackmail there. And I can see how even at the age of 15,
Mhm.
you you don't want to be responsible for that. So that causes you to kind of feel that obligation even more full on. All right.
Yeah.
So let's go into it then. So like the 8-year-old who had you have that crystal clear memory. So what does she so she feels this sense of guilt and obligation. And where does she feel that strongly in her body? And anyone listening in, you can tune in as well if this is resonating for you. At the shoulders?
At the top of my shoulders, kind of.
Yeah.
I usually
Yeah,
don't
it's
feel
like
things there, but
it's
that's what's
heavy.
going on.
It's heavy to be carrying that stuff because you're carrying your mom is like putting her stuff on you,
Oh yeah,
or
kind
whoever
of
it is,
like
putting her stuff
I
on
hold
you.
my toddler on my
Yeah,
shoulders. So
you're carrying it. You're being kind of obligated to carry it. You feel obligated to carry it.
yeah,
All right. So it's right there on the shoulder, and does it have like a shape or a color, or what's the sensation there?
it's like a kind of dirty blue is the
Hmm.
best I can describe it. Like muddy, bluish water.
Yeah. And like, what would be the message of that water if it could, say something?
Um, I need to be sifted.
Yeah. So it
That's
needs to
kind
be
of
kind of sifted and purified. Okay.
yeah,
So will we go ahead and purify that water there on your shoulders there? How does that feel like if we just purify it now?
yeah. So I'm kind of imagining like a gold rush dude, kind of like using one of those things to sift out the gold
Yeah.
when I like
Yeah. And we can just
imagine
like
it.
accelerate that process, just like sift it out. So all the dirt is kind of blended out and it comes out in this kind of crystal clear cascade.
Yeah, I like it. And hey, there's some gold nuggets in there. I like that.
Yeah. And how's that feeling now, that sensation on your shoulders?
Yeah, I kind of feel like a weird like electric thing kind of going up.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Cool. Yeah,
Like
I
right
feel that.
here.
All right.
So
So anywhere you carried those obligations for your mom or for anyone, you felt like you have to carry that weight, and if you didn't, that something bad would happen. So
yeah.
can we give you the highest truth on what was really happening anytime you took that on for your mom or anyone else? Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
And show you how to know the difference between your thoughts and feelings and the thoughts and feelings and fears of the people around you. Is that okay?
Yeah. How do we do that?
Yeah, no, just breathe.
Okay.
Okay, cool. How's that feeling now?
I feel like almost like a magnetic pull pulling me up.
Yeah,
Where like
cool.
before I felt like I had a magnetic pull pulling me down, but like right now I feel it kind of
You're
pulled
kind
up.
of being pulled up.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. And how does that little 8-year-old feel now when your mom is there?
She feels strong.
Cool. Okay, does she feel obliged to do the thing?
No, she feels like I could fight back if I need to.
And can she say no in that situation? Does she feel okay to say no?
I think she does. I think she's thinking,
Yeah.
hey, if I'm not strong enough, I have allies to help me. I have
Yeah.
my sisters. You know, together we're like the message that she's my inner child is saying to me is like, hey, if we work together, we're strong.
Yeah, and you know what else? You've got her back as well. You were there. You're supporting her, like with her.
Oh,
Okay. So what I would love you to do now is just to kind of visualize that 8-year-old version of yourself in front of you, and just bring her in. If she feels cool, you can give her a nice hug
mhm.
and tell her, got you. I'm always here for you. I got your back. It's safe to say no. And she or like let's bring in also that little Soda knows how to say no and knows when it's a no for her. So, because that's a common thing. People don't even know what their no feels like. So they don't know what a no feels like. So they obviously can't say no. And you know what? If you can't say no, guess what? Your yes doesn't mean a thing, right? So you've got to be able to say no for your yes to mean anything. So let's bring in for little Soda what that looks like and feels like and is like, and she knows that it's safe to do that. She's safe to embody that energy, and that she's already embodying that right now, and walking that is okay.
Hmm. All right. Little Soda is saying, no, I don't deserve to be treated like that. I'm
Yeah.
strong, and
And how does she feel
I
about
deserve to
that
be
now?
treated well.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Well, that's pretty cool, isn't it? And what about now if we go back to like Big Soda? You know that situation that you mentioned earlier on?
Okay, I think she needs some loving. All right.
Hmm.
I think she feels very confused
Yeah.
and um like she can't do things on her own.
Okay. Yeah, that's a
That's
very
a big
common
thing.
belief as well, and we tend to be very codependent
Yeah,
when we
very
feel we can't do things on
codependent.
our own. Right. So yeah, let's show little 15-year-old, so teenage Soda,
Mm-hmm.
okay, um, know that she can do things on her own, and she knows how to ask for help. Is it okay?
Mm-hmm.
And she knows how to ask for help in the highest and best way, when to, what that looks like and feels like and is like, and how to really embody that strength. So we're going to bring in that strength from your 8-year-old, bring it all the way up into this 15-year-old girl. So she's there. She can stand in her power fully and embody her yes and her no fully.
Yeah, see, this one I feel more like what is it called? Like right below where your boob is,
Yeah.
like above your belly button.
Yeah, the
That
solar
area.
plexus. Yeah, because
Yeah,
this is
solar
about
plexus.
your power. So when people are blocked in that center, that's when we feel very disempowered and we feel like we can't do things, it's not
Yeah.
possible. That's all in the solar plexus. And that's actually meant to be one of the most blocked kind of energy centers on the planet, because people on this planet generally feel very disempowered.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thing. And the thing is, if your lower three energy centers are all blocked up, doesn't matter what you do up here, it's not going to really stick for very long. All right, so let's bring in that feeling of empowerment, that feeling of support for the teenage Soda. She knows her own strength, how to say yes, when to say no, um, and how to do that in the highest and best way without, being clear, without being hurtful, just being totally clear on her yes and her no. Is that okay?
Yeah. She's learning how to set boundaries. She didn't
Yeah.
know she doesn't know how to set boundaries at all.
Well, she didn't.
She didn't.
And how does she
Now she
feel
does.
about that now?
It's really good. I feel this like kind of going up in the middle and like out my armpits, if that makes sense. Kind of
Oh,
like
absolutely, because that's the solar plexus. And if you're blocked in the solar plexus, it means the energy can't come up to the heart, can't come up to the throat, it can't come up to all the other areas. So you're
oh,
kind of that's a big kind of blockage that so many people have.
yeah.
So what I'd love you to do is just take a and like the little 15-year-old there, to ask her if she needs. So see her in front of you there, and just ask her if she needs anything.
Yeah, she says she needs clarity and understanding
Okay.
because she feels
So let's bring her.
lost and
Let's bring
confused.
Yeah, so that confusion, that's kind of a residue, because if you don't have clear boundaries, you don't know where you end and where the other people begin. It's pretty easy to be confused, especially if you're an empath, like I'm an empath. You said that you feel other people's feelings too, and that can be really confusing because you feel other people's feelings as if it's
Mm,
your own.
yep.
So let's show little 15-year-old Soda here that she knows the difference between her beliefs and feelings and those of other people. And she knows how to
Mm,
live without taking them on as her own. Is it okay?
that's
She knows how to
what she
help
needs.
people without doing that. Is it okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm seeing like a light bulb, like the color yellow, and like some swirls, and kind of like a spark, you know? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I
Aha!
get it.
Because the color of the solar plexus is actually yellow. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, this is the kind of empowerment that happens. And when you don't have clear boundaries, you can feel obviously very disempowered because you're just taking on other people's stuff. And like I said, the world is a very disempowered place. So it's really easy to go there. So let's bring in also like forgiveness. So any kind of resentment that you might have for falling into that, let's show you that it's totally understandable, that you did the best you could, and that you can grow and expand from here and move forward. You know what that looks like and feels like and is like. Is that okay?
Yeah, I love that. Just like kind of making myself big and
Yeah.
like a force
And
field.
it's just show you exactly. And you know what it feels like and how to really expand into your power.
Yeah.
And that
Oh,
it's
I
safe
feel
to
so
really
like,
expand into your power. It's safe to feel your power. You know how to embody your power without feeling like your power is needs to be connected to anyone else. You know that comes from you. Is that okay?
yeah. Yeah, I feel really, yeah, like I have a force field around me that's gonna
Yeah.
blocking things I
You
don't
don't
want to
need to
feel.
you don't need to take on other people's stuff now. You can and it is very confusing if you've got a load of other confusing, weird stuff going on outside. Of course you're going to be confused, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. So let's bring in that clarity and that wisdom from all that experience, because from all of these things that you've gone through, you come out with a deeper wisdom because you've gone through the darkness into the light. So it hasn't been wasted. It's not wrong. It's all served you to get to where you are and to be the person that you now are. Is it okay?
Yeah. It feels like exactly what I needed. I feel a lot lighter.
Mm, yeah, yeah. So how's your 15-year-old now?
She feels empowered.
And you can ask her, is there anything else that she needs right now?
Maybe just a dash of hope
Okay.
that one day
So
things will
let's
get
bring in
better.
that. Yeah, okay. Hope, but really, when you have clarity, you get to create what it is that you want. You don't need to hope because you get to
Yeah.
create. Okay, so let's
Control.
bring that in.
I think.
Is that okay?
Control of the future, that it'll be good.
Yeah. Knowing you get to manifest, you get to create the life that you want. You don't need to hope. You don't need to wish. You create. Just like you create your art, you get to create your life. Is that okay? How does that feel?
Yeah. It's like the now I know I'm a very visual person. I have to like have some sort of physical analogy. And the way what I'm seeing right now is kind of like in Peter Pan, they have the little pixie
Mhm.
dust, so they're able to fly. That's kind of what I'm
Yeah,
imagining.
that's pretty cool. And yeah, then like with your 15-year-old, you can let her like step inside you.
Yeah.
And also the 8-year-old, let her like give her a nice big hug and let her step inside you. So we're just going to integrate all those parts of you now, so that you know who you are and how to live your life with all these parts. Integrated now, without them wandering off and doing their own thing and creating this confusion and division and cross purposes inside yourself that makes you
Yeah.
confused about what you want and where your boundaries are and all of that stuff. So let's show you that that's all over now, and you know how to really be crystal clear in your power, in your wisdom, and in your direction and where you're going. Is that okay?
I love that. Yes. I am imagining all that. Taking it all
Now take a
in.
nice deep breath. And what feels different now?
I feel more of like a desire to sit up straight. I've always had a problem with slouching, but now it just feels very natural to sit up straight. I don't feel
Yeah.
pressure pushing down on me. This was very therapeutic.
And when you think about now, people coming to you and asking you for something, maybe you don't want to do
Only
it. Like, give
if
me an
it
example of
equally,
something.
only if it equally benefits me. If it is
Yeah.
going to hinder me in any way, I will wish them the best that they do something else, or they could reoffer it to me in a way that will benefit me.
Yeah, and how does it feel when you say no? Does it feel
I feel like confident, like
cool?
empowered again.
So
Because
it's
that
coming
was the
from that
feeling of,
empowered place. It's not coming from a
yeah,
wishy-washy place. Because a lot of us, our no isn't really a strong no. That feels like an empowered no that you've got now.
yeah, yeah. I just feel like my chest out and like more confident about what I can and can't do, and not like I could be walked all over.
Oh, awesome. So let's integrate everything that we've done here, show you that you know who you are, how to live your life with all these new beliefs and feelings and without all those ones that we've left behind. Is it okay?
Yeah, gonna do that.
Oh, we're doing it right now. Not gonna do it.
I
We're doing it.
am
We're
doing,
living
I
it.
did it. I did it.
Yeah, it's done. Right. So cool. How does that feel in your body now? All
Yeah,
those changes.
again, I just feel like I need to sit up straight. Like I never feel that way. So
And maybe
I am
I might
loving
want to, how
that.
does it feel? You want to stretch? Yeah, maybe stretching is sometimes good. Do you feel like lighter in your body? How does your body feel right now?
Yeah, definitely lighter, and
Mm.
definitely like my spine. I feel like strength in my spine that I've never felt. So
Well, yeah, the spine, that's your backbone. If you can't say no,
yeah,
the people say you've got no backbone. That's because you
that
need to, you're not strong within yourself. You bend to everyone else's will. Got no backbone. Your spine is going to feel that. These are physical things. Their body, it actually affects your body physically. That's what tension is. It all comes from this emotional stuff and these emotional blockages. So these success blocks are so much deeper than about success. It's about who you are as a person. And when you change them, when you shift them, it affects all areas of your life, not just your ability to manifest abundance and be successful. It's going to show up in all areas of your life. Just like when you can't say no, that's going to affect all around. That's going to affect your relationship with your children, your relationship with your partner, your relationship with your friends. And when you're able to say no, when you have like that backbone, that strength, you can show up much stronger for yourself and for everyone that you meet. And you can embody that new empowered energy for them. So they can choose to match it, they can choose to embody that too, if they so choose to. So what are you going to do now? This is something that I always do when I'm working with people. And you've seen how quickly these shifts can happen. You don't need to talk about the thing for hours and hours. It happens
yeah.
super fast.
Yeah, that was
But
quick because
your
I've been
job,
working on this for years in therapy, but you know.
yeah, and therapy is great for having that awareness.
Mhm.
But it's not always great, useful or not always helpful for some people for actually letting go of things.
Yeah.
And that's where someone like me comes in. I can help you kind of recognize, release, and rewire yourself for something new that maybe you've been looking for. And it doesn't need to take a long time. You've all seen here. It happens super fast. And then you actually shift your identity to a whole new person, and then you shift what you're creating. You shift to a whole new reality and start creating something different in your life. So that's pretty cool. And what are you going to do different now? Like I always get people to take, a couple of actions that are going to really, because you can do all this work and
Hmm.
then not take action on it. And then what happens is you can kind of slip back into the old patterns. So you've got to take action now, really integrate that into you. So what actions can you take now to really integrate this work that we've just done?
Yeah, I'm gonna start really valuing my time and effort more, and you know, just wanting things to be more equal, and again just having that confidence and that pride, and you know, what you said earlier about if you say yes to everything, then your yeses don't mean much. So letting people know my boundaries, I feel really good
Yeah.
about that.
Are there any concrete ways that you can do that or practice that?
Yeah, I mean, so I know I'm going to be seeing my husband's family for Thanksgiving, and they
Hmm.
always comment on my weight. And I'm going to tell them, do not speak about my weight around me. I don't like it.
And how does it feel when you say when you can you imagine yourself saying that? Like,
Yeah.
and are
Yeah,
you
I feel
saying it in a
like,
place of anger? Are you saying it in an angry way, or are you like
no,
neutral and
I'm just
strong?
like, I know that you want to compliment me on, you know, my weight loss, but it affects me in a negative way. So I'd like you to not do that anymore around me. And I think that they'll be
Perfect.
totally understanding. I
Yeah.
just haven't had the
You've
balls
never said that.
to tell them not to do that.
You've
So
never set that boundary, so how are they supposed to know?
yet they have no idea that it's offensive to me. No idea.
And you never felt comfortable to tell them, and now you can say that. So that's like an absolutely massive shift that we've just created here.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel good about that.
Okay, awesome. Is there anything else coming up for you now?
I still feel that I need to figure out how to not just say no in these when people come to me, but also like be more confident in when I do have my reasons for saying no and not kind of backing down, you know, and
Okay.
being confident in my no.
Okay. So let's bring in that confidence in your no. You know how to be confident and empowered in your no and what that looks like and feels like and is like. Is it okay?
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah. So just bring it in. So in any kind of self-doubt, any weird stuff, we're just going to release that from every atom, cell, and molecule of your being. Just release it off and bring in that empowerment, that confidence, that neutrality as well, because we don't want to be triggered. We don't want to be triggered. We don't want to be angry. We want to be neutral in our no.
Yeah,
No, not angry.
now
No.
now I'm feeling it like in my hips.
Yeah.
I feel like everything has been in like a different place in my body where I feel like super pulled.
Well, yeah, the hips is really about moving forward. So
Ah,
let's show you that you know how to move forward and embody this energy and walk it into your life. Walk into that person, be that person, embody that. And what, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
receiving. I am that
you're
confident.
receiving that confidence. You've got that confidence. How do your hips feel right now?
I feel like I can be like a movie star right now. I feel confident.
Super
I'm like,
confident.
yeah, I don't even I'm even okay. I'm on live with these ears on and I feel completely confident. No
Were you not feeling
regrets.
confident at the start of this conversation?
I was feeling a little insecure. So but now I'm like, all right, this is me. This is me.
You're rocking it. Well, awesome. And what feels different now in your body and in your life right now?
Honestly, just the I've always been like very curled up. It drives my
Hmm.
husband crazy, but it's like a very bad habit of mine of always curling up and being small. And now
Yeah.
I just like a roly poly. And now I just want to be my
So what
unroly
I what I
poly.
what I want you to do is to, consciously be that person.
Yeah.
Consciously embody that. So practice it for the next week every day. Like, set a little timer on your phone. How am I sitting? How am I sitting? How's my posture right now? And you want to be sitting up and straight. So practice that. Now it's your job. We've made those shifts, but now it's up to you to practice that and to bring it forward into your life.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
I
because
got this. I feel
if you're not going forward, you people think they're standing still, but you're either going forward or you're kind of going backwards. So
yeah.
go. And what feels different now to when we started? Like, so you're feeling more confident. You got a smile on your face that wasn't there before.
Yeah. I just feel like, hey, I did everything I could do. If there's something that's, like with my podcast, I'm like, oh, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. I did what I could do, and I'm proud of that, considering my circumstance. Like, hey. So yeah, I want to feel I feel more pride in everything I do.
And the other
And
thing that's coming in for you as well is to kind of ground yourself a little bit. So,
yeah,
when you're walking, place your feet on the ground, barefoot. Outside sometimes maybe, just really connect to the earth. You want to ground that energy down.
I am feeling this. I am just walking on the beach right now in my head. I'm walking on the beach,
You're
confident,
walking on
going forward.
sunshine.
Yes, I am not
Like
letting this seasonal depression take a hold of me. I got this.
you got this, babe. All right, awesome. I could see a total shift in you. Like your energy feels so
I
different from when we
do.
started.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been like really energetically weird lately. Like things have been just not right, but I just feel like I have all control right now. So this has been so useful for me.
Okay, cool. Well, let me know how you get on.
Yeah,
And
I'll check up
you have the
and
power. You have the power to keep this momentum going. What we've done here is we've changed your set point, right? So we're
yeah,
here, we go up here, right? Now it's your chance. You got to keep that momentum going, right? So this is like about empowering you to do it.
yeah,
You got
yeah, I'm
this?
gonna do it. I got this. I am big in a good way. I am big
Yeah.
and empowered and confident and
Big.
moving forward.
Showing up big, showing up strong.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Well, I'm excited to see what's going to happen next for you.
Yes. And thanks again for this. This was actually it was extremely, extremely helpful for me. I have a huge ship, so I'm excited to send this to my sisters, so they could probably relate to this a lot.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks so much for joining me live. And yeah, if anyone else has been watching this and you're feeling stuck in something similar to soda or something different, reach out to me because I can help you. So. And if you're serious about shifting this, I can tell you it doesn't need to take a long time, and you've seen an example of that here today or tonight, my time. Thanks so much for joining me on the live, everyone. And yeah, let me know if you watch this. If you're watching the replay of this, drop a hashtag replay and let us know how you found this. Could you relate to this? And make sure to follow Soda as well, so you can check out all the amazing things that she does.
Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye, guys. See
Bye.
ya. Watch